What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today we'll be going over all the latest news from Bungie about Destiny 2, so what's coming up soon with some cool things to be aware of, and they also spoke a little bit about Destiny 1 and the topic of Sandbox updates before the sequel comes out. So a lot of interesting stuff to discuss and all things coming from Bungie. So as we know, E3 is the next stop on Bungie's roadmap for Destiny 2, and there's going to be more bits of gameplay and news coming out. I'll be going there myself, so as usual, expect a bunch more videos on the channel, and also any of you guys or anyone with a ticket to E3 will be able to play Destiny 2 as well, of course. It's going to be the same build that was at the gameplay premiere event last month, plus one really cool addition, which is that the Hunter Arcstrider subclass will also be playable on this build, which of course wasn't at the event. So Bungie announced 3 activities that will be at E3, so the first one being the mission Homecoming. Now Bungie have confirmed this is the actual first mission in Destiny 2, but I asked them at the event and they said there will be some kind of tutorial mission before this one that kind of gets you used to the controls and sort of introduces you to the actual game and its mechanics. It probably won't be a very long mission. I'm really interested to see where it takes place and what it has you doing, but apparently there will be some sort of introduction mission before this, and also that veteran players can skip it if they want to get straight to this first mission Homecoming. Now, the only thing that does make sense about this mission that's pretty strange is how we do have the brand new subclasses in this gameplay. Now, I'm pretty sure this is just a show off at the demo. I don't think it's going to be like this in the full game. I'd assume you get them later on in some kind of mission. There's some context to it. But like I said, in the full game, I wouldn't expect to have these subclasses available, and it's probably just a show off at events. So there's also, of course, going to be the strike called the Inverted Spire, which I'm sure you've seen a million times by now because it's the only gameplay we can actually capture for PvE. But myself, I do really love this strike. It's not too crazy on mechanics to the point where it's like really tedious, and it's simple enough to get through and just enjoy it. And also, the drill section is probably one of my favorite encounters in Destiny, so I'm a big fan of this strike so far. That's also playable. And then, of course, the third mode is going to be Crucible. This is the map Midtown, set in the last city. And it's the new elimination-based mode called Countdown. One team plants the bomb, the other defuses. First use 6 rounds. It is quite tactical and definitely not as simple like respawn control, but it gives you a good idea of what Destiny 2 actually feels like. So that is what to expect if you're going to E3 and what everyone else is going to be getting their hands on. But the main thing that, of course, I'm excited for as a hunter is that new Arcstrider. So I really want to check it out and see what it's like. Of course, you guys know I was a big fan of the Blade Dancer back in the day when it was actually decent. So to me, even though it's basically the same thing, I'm really interested to see if it can be a better Blade Dancer, just upgraded in every way, and hopefully has some cool perks, because we've got no idea what the melee is like or the super options or the different perks on it. So that's definitely what I'll be keen to check out. But of course, stay tuned right here on my channel, so I'll be reporting back once I get to play this build and making videos for you guys. So the next thing to bear in mind to do with Destiny 2 at E3 is, of course, PlayStation and their content for this game. Up until this point, we've heard literally nothing from PlayStation. All we've seen is their branding and logos and posters and stuff, so we know they are involved. But E3 is where all of that info is definitely going to come out, because Destiny 2 is going to be presented at the Sony conference. So it's anyone's guess what they're going to show off, whether it's new gameplay or a trailer. Probably on the unlikely side, but you can guarantee the PlayStation exclusives are going to be announced during the Sony conference, and they've got content for probably the biggest game of 2017, so you can bet they're going to want to tell everyone in the world why they should buy it on PlayStation, and they're probably going to announce the PS4 Pro bundle as well, and talk about 4K and all that kind of stuff. So E3 really is the time and the place for all that stuff to be coming out, and I'll also guarantee they will announce the beta there. That's just my personal prediction and speculation, of course, but I think they've been waiting exactly for this time for someone from Sony to come up on stage and announce when PlayStation players can play the beta early, and those are the two main things, exclusives and the beta, because of course they've been waiting all this time to do so, and I'll be interested to see what these exclusives actually are. We know recently in Year 3 they moved away from things like exotics that were in Year 1 and 2, like Hawkmoon and Monte Carlo and Jade Rabbit, but they could do the usual kind of Crucible map and strike and quest, or an exotic weapon maybe, or they could just do something completely different and surprise us. Whatever it is, I'm just hoping it isn't something massively game-changing, like one of the best exotics in the game being Hawkmoon in Year 1. I think that was a bit unfair, but do set your expectations for a ton of PlayStation news that coming from Destiny 2 at E3. So Bungie also addressed one of the very commonly asked questions, which is Destiny 1 going to receive any more Sandbox updates or weapon balancing, tuning, stuff like that? So their response is Age of Triumph was touted as the last update for Destiny. In our constant watch over the community, we've heard many of you asking if the current Sandbox will get another design pass. Our sole focus at this time is Destiny 2. All hands at Bungie are committed to making Destiny 2 the sequel that this community deserves. We have a beta this summer which will demand your bug reports. This fall will be an entirely new cycle of updates for a brand new game that we think will be the best answer to the feedback you give us since the original launch of Destiny. So there's your answer. Pretty simple, but Bungie are going to be focusing entirely on Destiny 2 now. So no more sandbox updates, no more balancing or weapon tuning, and no more of that for Destiny 1. It's basically forever going to remain as it is right now. What's overpowered or broken or underpowered, how things work is how it's going to remain. Of course, they've taken things like sticky nades being overpowered, and now they're not overpowered in Destiny 2 anymore. So basically all of our feedback for Destiny 1 has gone straight into Destiny 2, and it makes complete sense to me. Why would you spend so much money and so many people's times, all the testers and QA developers, why would you use all of their time on a game we're going to be playing for the next 3 months versus a game we're going to be playing for 3 years? So it definitely makes so much more sense. Focus on Destiny 2 because that is the future of what we're going to be playing. And if you count the beta in like a month or two, that's basically when the entirety of Destiny 2 is going to start, and when all the testers are going to start fixing things and tuning things for Destiny 2. Of course, there are going to be a ton of weapons in that game that are going to be overpowered or broken and need tuning. So it kind of makes a lot of sense to me personally. Now, they did, of course, say any game-breaking bugs or glitches or things that should be fixed for Destiny 1 will be. So things that go wrong or error codes, anything like that, of course, those will always be fixed. And even after Destiny 2 launches, there will always be a team working on Destiny 1, making sure it goes smoothly. But beyond that, of course, there won't be any tuning, no weapon balancing. That is all for Destiny 2. And it's a whole new game with thousands of weapons and perk combinations, different abilities, armor, all that stuff. And there's definitely a lot to balance. And I don't really blame them for focusing on the game we're going to be playing for the next 3 years, as opposed to the game we're playing for the next 3 months. So that is everything that Bungie has announced about Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 going forward with E3 as well. Some of my thoughts in there. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, a like rating would be much appreciated. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on my future E3 videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.